So this morning I thought I would just give a little bit of testimony before I sang this song. And, you know, as we live, what an amazing thing it is to be alive, to actually experience life, isn't it? To love and to be loved and to have friendship and just to move through time and space is an amazing thing. But there are times in our life when it doesn't feel like an amazing thing. And in the early 90s, I wasn't really planning on getting emotional, but anyway, in the early 90s, I struggled with clinical depression. I got very sick and lost weight very, very rapidly. I could not eat, I could not drink anything. And went to the doctor, and they were thinking there was something wrong with my liver. They were doing all sorts of tests, and finally, the old country doctor that I ended up going to see here in West Palm Beach said, "How do you feel?" I said, "I cry a lot." He goes, "I want you to go see somebody." Now immediately the walls went up and I was afraid, you know, he was going to send me to somebody because he thinks I'm crazy. But he says, "You'll enjoy talking to this person. He is a converted Jew who's now not a Pentecostal, but a Presbyterian." Huge difference. A Presbyterian pastor. And after you talk to him, maybe we can proceed. But your liver is fine. You're not dying. You're okay. And for the first time, I just felt comfort in my life. And I went to see this guy and sat down. And he goes, "What do you think your problem is?" I said, "Well, I'm gay." And his response was, "Wow, it usually takes you Pentecostal guys 5 or 6 visits before you even close to admitting that." And he says, "You know, what's going on with you is you're clinically depressed. Your body is trying to deal with stress that you can't deal with. And so it's shutting down to protect you." And I was like, "Well, that's odd." You know, so anyway, make a long story short, a few weeks later, I was watching the Oprah. Yay, Oprah. And I don't know why depressed people want to watch Oprah, but anyway, I was watching Oprah, and there was a guy on there by the name of Charlie Pell. And Charlie Pell was once the football coach for the University of Florida. And before he went to Florida, he was the football coach of Clemson University, where I grew up. And I met him when I was in the 1st grade. He was my hero. So there was my childhood hero talking about being depressed and said, it's a hole that you fall into. And it doesn't matter how many people come up to you and say, "We know what you're going through." They don't. They don't know. And really that moment, my heart opened up and I realized I'm not alone. There's somebody in this world that knows what I'm going through. There's someone in this world that can identify with this darkness that I've fallen into, and it's going to be okay. Yes. And today's service really is about that there are times that we fall into darkness. There are times that we have these hard times, but God's with us. So forgive me for preaching. But there's a song I was asked to sing that's in the bulletin, but I don't know it. So I know the last line, but that takes all of 3 seconds. So the song I'm going to sing this morning is just a combination of a psalm and an old hymn. And hope it blesses you. Hear my cry, O Lord. Attend unto my prayer. From the ends of the earth will I cry unto thee. And when my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the soul.